And so we find ourselves in the mansion. Anton's family's mansion. Anton's family's mansion that has existed for a long time under a name of NPCs that I don't remember. But that's not important. What is important is the young man who lies in a semi-drunken on his way to hungover stupor on the floor of his room, passed out in a blaze of youthful glory and tequila. Jason. Because Jason made the mistake, dire, of leaving his door open for all to see this state, Bill has arrived. Bill sets the dread items on a tabletop in Jason's room. One can of Monster Energy. One large bottle, 32 ounces of Gatorade. And a bottle of aspirin. He then produces from his coat pocket the most precious item of them all, an air horn. He then produces from his other coat pocket the second most sacred item of them all, a cheap squirt gun. And so it begins. Bill blasts the air horn, and the second that Jason shows any signs of life, starts squirting him in the face with the squirt gun.
Motherfucker, jumping around, tripping over his other foot that still has a shoe on it, banging into the table. Yeah, probably ought to roll something, I guess.
No, I don't know what you'd roll.
Or not. That's fine too, I guess. So, yeah, banging around, finally gets himself together. The fuck, man?
Welcome back to the land of the living. You smell like bad decisions.
Oh, such a good decision, man. But my head hurts.
Dare I ask who
I
that
don't
decision
know.
was made with, if anybody?
I don't know. He reaches back. He's like pulling straw out of his hair. Yeah, some chick at the bar, man.
Well, good job. Let's hope that doesn't blow back on you in 9 months.
No, man. I had protection.
Did you?
No.
Let's hope
But
that
it's
doesn't
cool.
blow back on you inside of 2 weeks.
Yeah, well.
Trust me, by 2 weeks you'll know.
Yeah.
All right.
He reaches over and grabs the energy drink and.
You're dehydrated. Drink up. Swallow no more than 2 of those aspirin. They're not fucking free. I'm going to show you how we put food on the table.
All right, man. He gets out of his club clothes that he was in and gets back into regular stuff, which basically involves a Metallica t-shirt, jeans, and work boots.
Kid, it's nearly winter. Dress warmer than that. We're going to be outside.
Okay, I thought we were cooking something.
No. No, we're doing the earning part.
Oh. All right. He puts on some long johns or whatever he's got around and a jacket.
All right. Has to go through all the trouble of getting out of the. That's awesome. All right. Now we get into one of my cars. Whichever one hasn't been bashed up today. God damn it. And as they're driving, Bill will activate the onboard Bluetooth. And he will call his assistant. Be right back.
Jason's just rubbing his forehead, sipping on the energy drink, and Still not quite sure why he's in this car right now, but fuck it.
They get to listen to it ring 1, 2, at least 3 times before Nicole finally picks up, depending on how Netflixed out she is right now.
Jason's just kind of staring at the radio as if it's supposed to start talking at him.
Ironically, it does. As a voice, after the third ring picks up and it's like, hey, boss.
Hey, Nicole, you're on speaker. I currently have a young Padawan with me. Say hi, Jason.
Hi.
Oh, God. Okay. Sure. Is it bring your kid to work day?
Something like that. God. At least we're not handling multiple Smith cases at once. Do you have the current Smith case up to date? Did you post anything recently?
Which current Smith case? You can hear, essentially the idea is you probably on speaker, you're creaking up off, who knows, the couch, a chair, something, moving around, paper rustling.
The one we took like a month ago, the infidelity one.
Oh, yeah. 1 second. There's more animated, but less flappy paper moving around. Hear a drawer open and shut. Yeah, got it right here.
Is he posting anything to indicate he's on schedule?
As far as I can tell, 1 second. There is again, more just kind of generic officey noises. You definitely hear keyboard clacking. As far as I can tell, everything is on time. Yeah, there's the check for the Yeah, it's on his card. You're good.
Oh my God, he is such a fucking idiot.
He really is. He's not good at this.
Well, speaking of being a fucking idiot, I gotta swoop by to pick up the camera anyway.
I mean, at least this one, it's not a card that has his wife's name on it. I mean, he put in like half an effort. Did he get point for half an effort?
Yeah, you still wouldn't be able to read it if it wasn't a joint account.
Okay, fine. He was dumb enough to put it on a joint account.
Which, oh man,
minus 10 points. Jesus, people are assholes and stupid. Sorry, new guy.
Jason.
Sorry, Jason.
I have no idea what you guys are doing, so I mean, you're cool.
Just, man, people sometimes. There's more clattering. Yeah, I'll grab the camera and make sure you have a fresh chip in it. Shit, where's the memory stick? I'll see you when you get here.
totally.
Okay. And then there's the click.
That's cool, man. You got an assistant?
I do. She does a lot of things for me, but more so than anything else, she keeps the netherworld of paperwork straight for me so that I do not accidentally shoot myself in the foot. I imagine you have questions.
I mean, paperwork for what?
Exactly what I thought you'd ask questions about.
I mean, I don't.
Well, here's the thing. I am more or less, due to some interesting payouts from my former employer and some judicious use of them, independently wealthy. More or less. But that does not cover, or even begin to cover, some of the weird fucking expenses that we, in our not so official business, rack up. Does it?
Probably not.
I mean, let's put it this way. It would take a full-time job just to handle our food bill. But Anton takes care of that. I tend to take care of odds and ends. And I cannot do that just with passive income. So I take a number of jobs as a private detective.
Man, that's cool. Like in the movies?
No, it is so much more boring than the movies.
Oh.
Oh my lord. But I feel it is important that you learn how this shit goes down, where it all comes from. I also feel that it will teach you some skills that are necessary for your werewolf job, like patience and thinking.
Hmm. He nods thoughtfully. So what kind of stuff do you end up doing on these detective jobs?
Well, some light stalking, and then a lot of sitting and waiting for someone to do something stupid. See, the majority of my jobs fall under this heading. I think my significant other is cheating on me. I want to divorce them and have a favorable outcome. I need you to help me prove their infidelity.
So you just follow him around and wait for him to fuck up.
Ma'am, there's a part of me that almost wishes for the thrill of having to follow them around most of the time. But it's usually a lot simpler than that. What do people your age just fucking go bonkers for when it comes to phones and computers?
Porn?
Other than porn.
Facebook.
Exactly. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Most people basically just sign their whole lives away to the internet and they don't give it a second thought. This includes people who are being infidelity. I know that the place that we're going after we pick up my camera is a hotel. I know this because he likes to eat at the hotel and Instagram his meals at the hotel.
Oh, man, I hate when people do that shit.
I fucking do too.
But it
Because
sounds
of
like
the
he's doing
timing
your
of this
job for
over the-
you.
Almost. And do you know who does what's left of my job for me?
Your-
Nicole.
Oh.
She monitors all of this shit for me. Not thanklessly, I do pay her.
So
In
we're
fact,
gonna
without
go
Nicole-
to this hotel and see if he's there with somebody he shouldn't be.
Oh, I know he's going to be there with somebody he shouldn't be. This is where I will... When we get to the grounds, I will show you the other half of things you may want to know in your life. Because unlike Anton, we cannot all be ninjas.
Yeah, that dude's sneaky.
Very. And given our lifestyle, well, we can't all be career criminals. Anyway. Do you have any, I don't know, any fucking questions now that it's just us and not any of the kin popping in?
I mean, I'm still, I think, trying to figure out what it is that I don't know that I don't know. I mean, I think I've got a pretty decent handle on my lot in life as it is. I don't really understand what the the career path is. I mean, you have a job. I was kind of told that I wasn't supposed to do that or like take night classes or whatever.
I do a lot of things I'm not supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of cool. I mean, I don't want to just have to, sit up at the house and wait until there's monsters to go kill. There's got to be more than that.
I mean, Jason, the reason that most of us don't have jobs is because it's fucking hard, dude. I'm sure you figured out while you were all out partying that a lot of people are going to give you a side eye. A lot of people aren't going to want anything to do with you.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious once we got in there.
And just think, it's fucking worse for Wendy and AJ.
Why?
Whatever it is that's in us that makes people want to avoid us tips them off that we could go 9-foot tall killing machine at a wrong word. They've got more of it. It's more obvious in a sense. It's harder for normal people to be around them. That's why most of us don't hold down regular jobs. We just fucking can't.
Well, I guess that's fair. After seeing how they acted at the bar, I mean...
Honestly, the only reason I get away with this, the only reason, is that she handles it all for me. And she doesn't know it, so do not just go saying things in front of her, but she is, by all means, a kinfolk.
Well, that's cool.
Not that she knows that or anything about our world. I've been trying to figure out how to broach that subject, but I'll put it this way. I've brought kinfolk that don't know into the fold before. It's difficult. You're flipping people's entire worlds upside down.
Yeah, I remember what that was like.
Now imagine not even being able to fucking hang with us when we're pissed off.
But, I mean, at least she can still do her thing. So.
Yeah, she's had it pretty rough. She lost a sibling a ways back, and frankly, things weren't great before that. I'm doing my best to look out for her.
That's cool of you, man.
I'll do what I can. You got to keep in mind, our situation is not typical. This whole thing isn't typical. Anton doesn't like that. He's got a lot of ideas about how things are supposed to be, but we're an anomaly.
Like us as a small group, or?
This is a small group that doesn't have a really strong connection to all of the other werewolves out there.
But there is some of a connection, right? I mean...
There's a very minor one, but I can tell you right now that Anton frowns on even that. He's only putting up with it in a slight capacity because we need the numbers. But
so he
doesn't really trust them.
Part of that whole thing at all.
He does prefer that. It's a big disagreement that me and him have had many times.
I guess I don't know.
I can see where he's coming from.
all I really know about any of this is the mansion and, going out on a couple of jobs here and there with you guys. So I mean, I don't know anything about the nation, or how they would act towards us, other than how these other two have acted, and they've seemed pretty cool.
I have seen the nation, and it is fucking brutal. I want you to take whatever standards you might have and turn back the clock about 800 years, and that is the nation.
Well, I guess if they're so shitty, then I'm cool with not being part of it.
Like I said, there are differing opinions. I'm a big fan of structure, numbers, established traditions, but then again, I didn't really come up in the nation, did I?
So maybe it's more an idea of how you think the nation should be that you like.
Maybe. But my people don't really stick in one place for very long.
Which ones are you again?
The Silent Strider.
Hmm.
Children of Owl.
You can see Jason trying to recall the lessons he's got from the water spirit at the fountain, trying to remember about the Silent Striders.
As Children of Owl, we, out of everyone, are closest to death. Not in a sense of trying to be a cool kid and a hot topic. I mean, our brood has intrinsic connections to the process of death. As a result, there are things that stick with us. One of those being literal fucking ghosts. Problem with ghosts is that once one knows you're up and about and can pay attention to them, they all know. And they get real fucking bothersome about it. So it's hard for one of us to stay in one place for very long. That's why I'm gone so much.
Now, can
really
you
don't.
see them like right now in the regular world, or do you have to be over on the other side to see them?
I mean, not right now. We're on the highway, except for that one we just drove past. But yes, can see them all the time.
Man, you're like that kid from that movie.
Yeah, except it's like a million times worse.
Well, that's shitty.
Mm-hmm. But it's where my calling in life brought me. It does mean, however, that things may get sporting upon my death. I don't know, depressing topic, but you have to look at it this way. Everyone in a tribe has a homeland to go to when they die. A great hereafter. Silent Striders don't. I have no idea where we go when we die.
How do you know that everybody else has a place to go?
The fountain doesn't tend to fuck people about.
Well, that sucks.
It does.
Well, I hope you don't become a ghost.
If I do, I will haunt the living shit out of that mansion.
No, just keep it in the basement with all the rest of them.
Oh, buddy, they're not just in the basement.
But they are gross.
Oh, the pain spirits?
They're creepy, man.
They're normal. They're a natural part of life. I understand why you don't like them, but think about this. If you were to accidentally put your hand on a hot stove, what would happen?
I'd probably swear a lot and kick the stove
And how would you know to swear a lot?
because my hand would hurt.
Exactly.
They're the ones that tell my hand it hurts.
They're certainly the children of the idea. Pain's not there to fucking hurt you for the sake of hurting you. Pain's there to keep you alive by warning you when bad shit's happening.
I
It's
guess
supposed to be
that's fair.
pleasant. It's a warning. That's why I don't mind it so much. And also why one has more or less bound itself to me. Oh, hey, look, we're almost at the house.
Jason chugs the rest of his energy drink.
And Bill will knock on the door.
And yeah. Admittedly, Bill probably has a key. Admittedly, she probably could have unlocked it. Whatever the case, there's the knock on the door. There's the sound of movement. And sure enough, let me flip this because her shirt is backwards. Why would I do this to myself? This is assuming I can figure out how. Aha! Did it. But sure enough, this little chick, you could probably assume she's got a nasty case of the baby face, but this admittedly smallish chick, black hair, probably dyed. You'd probably guess at a glance. I mean, for Jason's sake, I'll say she doesn't look like she's that long out of high school. Maybe a little older than the people you're used to hanging out with, but not by much. All the same, she comes over, pops the deadbolt, pops the lock, pulls the door open, and looks up at Bill. Hey, found the memory stick, so you're good.
Sweet. I'm going to be in for a minute anyway. I'm just going to brew some coffee.
Mm-hmm. She actually just kind of steps out of the way, holding the door. Hot's already going.
You're a lifesaver.
You're predictable.
And he walks in, puts a cigarette in his mouth, but thinks better of it. So it's just gets to hang out behind his ear. And he gathers up a thermos, the camera, extra battery for the camera just in case. And
Jason gets a little wave before she closes the door behind him.
opens a drawer and just writes down a note under what looks like the words just miscellaneous expenses. And just writes in $20 under several other markings of $20. And that is going on your bill, Mrs. Smith.
Jason's kind of looking around, taking it all in. Probably
Right.
trying not to get caught checking out the goth girl.
Yes, do feel free to describe the bungalow. Nicole, for her part, putters back over. Just has a camera set on the coffee table and plunks down on the couch, puts her feet up on the coffee table.
So, single story home, no discernible basement, wood floors, just wood paneling, some trim on the bottom and the top of what looks like drywall, plaster ceiling. There is a fan that likely at this stage of the holiday is inert. It looks like the situation in this room is big open space, rectangular. There's a couch across from a pretty big TV that is on its own little stand. The stand is packed with Blu-ray DVDs that, thanks to streaming services, will likely be outdated in another few years. And the kitchenette looks like it is clean and fully stocked. Real simple tile marble type setup. And a refrigerator that also looks clean, and when he opens it, is definitely fully stocked. He shoves what looks like grapes into his mouth and then just closes it again. There is one door immediately to your right that is shut. And it looks like a little past that, it dips into a hallway. If you look down the hallway, there is a door on the right, there's a door on the left, and a door in the center. On the opposite side from the door, there is some glass. It looks like there is a sliding screen door onto what you assume is a backyard, but since the blinds are likely drawn at this point, you don't know.
Yep, all the blinds, curtains, whatever have you, are drawn. Is there still like a little sign or something on one of the doors?
Ah, yes, the door to his immediate right. Do not open.
What's in here?
Computer shit. Very sensitive. Don't open it.
Oh. Okay.
Only Nicole's allowed to open it.
Looks over at her. Aren't you lucky?
She like glances over, and for what it's worth, she like kicks her feet up on the coffee table, and she's got like the ridiculously colorful socks that would normally be hidden by the big goth boots. Can't have that though. So, no, brightly colored socks. She pops like some popcorn into her mouth and like just like does the eyebrow waggle, like "Ooh, lucky me." Though she does yell back after munching on the popcorn. Change the filters in the air conditioners. It's all good.
Sweet. Just remember to keep the receipts. Write down anything you spend that isn't on them.
They're in the drawer.
Great. I've already annotated the miscellaneous expenses for the night. I'll write something else down if it gets more expensive than that, but I don't think the old man's going to get that greedy.
I mean, all things considered, he's been happy so far, so she shrugs.
He's a cool guy. And then Bill pulls up a case. You have no idea what's in the case, but it is large. Okay, we're gonna head out. I will swing by here when we're done. I'm not gonna wake you up for that shit. I will just load it on myself.
Okay.
All right, cool. You need anything?
Nope. Nope. I'm good. I've got the Netflix. I've got the phone.
All right, let's go create a marital tragedy.
Cool. Looks back over at Nicole. See you later.
Another mild wave. See if you get around too.
How this guy's going? This is gonna be fucking biblical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If only he paid as much attention to poor Mrs. Smith, who cried in a fucking Denny's. Oh, I hate it when they cry.
Always crying.
And I hate it every time, Nicole.
She just kind of gives the helpless shrug, like, "What? What do you want me to do?" Like,
That's brutal, man. I never know what to do when chicks are crying.
Men and women crying is most of my job.
Yeah, you think it's weird when women cry. Men crying, then you really don't know what to do.
I gotta stop meeting clients in fucking Denny's.
I mean, you're like over tipping, right? So they don't hate you.
Abso-fucking-lutely. 30% or nothing.
Well, I mean, she shrugs. They probably don't mind.
And I write it off on my taxes as a business lunch. All right, come on, Jason.
Jason gives her the little wave as he's heading out the door.
So you guys get in the car. He does throw the bigger case in the trunk. So that thing is, I shit you not, something that is also getting billed under miscellaneous. It's really funny because in my contracts, they get billed for my miscellaneous expenses.
So
They never
what
pay
you got
attention
in
to
there?
that until it's
Like
too late.
A bunch of guns.
Fuck no, dude. All right. Just because I'm a PI doesn't mean I'm running around shooting people. That, my friend, is a big old telescope and not even something we need. This is part of the not okay part of what I'm doing. See, the reason that I know that I will get pictures of this individual in flagrante is that they meet their paramour in the same hotel room, which doesn't have any blinds, by the way, not up to code, and do the exact same shit in the exact same placement. And I know the exact angle from which to take pictures of them, well, infidling with each other. The telescope is because I have convinced the old janitor in the building opposite that I am just an avid stargazer. And I pay him $20, which also goes under miscellaneous expenses, to let me essentially rent some real estate up on the roof without him calling the cops.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
We may be werewolves, but we do not have to shoot our way through every situation.
No, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I just didn't, I just assumed there were guns in there.
No. No, I have a gun on my person, but that's neither here nor there. That is for other things. Considering that one time I went out to a Dave & Buster's with my brother, and then we got shot at, I like to have a gun on my person.
No, that's fair. That's what they're made for. Jason starts patting around his back. Motherfucker, I forgot mine.
It's okay, we're probably not going to need it. I've never had it go to a point where one of these people has discovered my presence and then attempted to use force upon me. I am a little too distant for that. And also, I just threatened to call the cops.
And, they'd probably shit themselves when they got close to you anyway.
Probably. Maybe. Some of the time. Hilariously, one of these stories did have a happy ending, though it did cost me money.
What happened with that one?
Well, another crying wife thought her husband was running around on her. The guy was disappearing at odd hours of the night, same time every week. She had her suspicions. She was so very sure that this guy, I can't even remember his... yes, the Redfields. She had thought that Mr. Redfield was cheating on her. Turns out that he was not cheating on her. In fact, he was doing something pretty romantic. He was taking ballroom dancing lessons to impress her. I know, right?
That sounds like one of the
Last I
things they
heard,
put in those books that the old ladies buy at the grocery store.
dude, 100%. I couldn't believe I was fucking living it. Well, I mean, I fucking showed her what I found. A lot of fine pictures of him working on his ballroom dancing. And
She felt like an asshole.
I got an email a ways back. She confronted him over it, and needless to say, hearts were pretty quick to mend, considering he was doing it just to do something nice for her. They go together now. Apparently, they're gearing up to go to a ballroom dancing competition, which I did not know was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either.
Fucking search me, man. Now, the shitty part of this for me was this was back before I just charged flat fees. See, what I'd done before was my contract had been directly appended to any winnings from the divorce. So I'd get a percentage of that. There was no divorce, so I just had a bunch of time and money down the fucking tubes.
And they didn't even offer to kick you something anyway?
Nope, wasn't in the contract.
Oh, that's bogus.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking shitty. But I learned an important lesson, which was to charge up front.
All right. It's cool that they don't all end in tears, I guess.
Yeah. All right, we're parking here.
All right.
And you watch Bill get out and pay a meter. It is one of those meters that you can buy several hours on if you so choose. And Bill does. He pays out the ass for this. And then writes a small note on a piece of paper, like a little pocket notebook. And just looks at Jason's expenses.
Sure. Well, let somebody else pay for your parking. I get it.
Dude, you have no idea how expensive this shit gets. If I didn't charge for miscellaneous, this would not be a fucking profitable venture. And considering that infidelity tends to get people to really favor the entitled upon party in court, people tend to shell out.
Cool.
You guys are walking for a while. And on one side of the street, there is definitely a hotel. This is a meh part of town. It's not a part of town where you should be afraid to be walking at night. But it's definitely a meh part of town. Could be nicer. You see the hotel he is talking about. And you also see a nondescript building on the side of the street you're on. Bill cuts down an alley.
Jason follows.
You're walking for a little bit. That big case in tow. And on a service door, there's just a knock of...
Jason's kind of looking around nervously like they're doing something they shouldn't be.
It takes some time sometimes. He's an old guy. Give him a minute.
All right, cool. Looking around, looking up, just taking it all in. More in a nervous sense than really trying to actually observe anything.
Oh, ease up, ease up. You miss shit when you're nervous. For instance, you miss the fact that only 2 cars have gone by since we walked in here. Which is kind of weird for a Saturday night, to be honest with you.
I mean, in this part of town, it seems like there's this building, the hotel, or what, maybe like a gas station.
Gas station's a few blocks up. Yeah, to be fair, this is more a place people come out of to go have a night on the town. So I think you have a point, but... No, this is the only reason I get away with this is like an office suite, so no one company like owns the building. They're just all renting space here. But that does mean people like me are free to walk the halls without anyone freaking out, especially since we're not here to steal shit.
Is there security in there?
A little bit. Not like a security guard that this poor old man is the closest line of defense they have. But yeah, if we were to try to gain access to the suites or something without him helping us, there would be an alarm.
Cool. Good to know.
So yes, after a good couple minutes, and you can hear like the one squeaky wheel going slowly closer and closer to the door.
crow for? This is terrible.
Jason's just looking at me like, dude, what's the matter with you?
I'll explain when we get to the roof.
So yes, the slowly growing sound of the it comes through the door before finally comes the, I mean, let's face it, for Bill, routine response of, "Oh, I'm afraid we're locked up for the night."
Oh, geez, that's a real shame. I was hoping to get some real pro pics of the stars. You know that Orion's belt's supposed to be up there?
Oh, you're back for your pictures of the stars. Yeah. Give me just 1 minute there, son. And you hear the jingle of the keys. You know, my wife used to love looking at the stars as you jingle, 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 jingle. And finally, the clickety click of the lock being opened.
Hey, Jerry.
No, hello there.
Yeah, speaking of your wife, how's she doing? She's supposed to pick up that arthritis medication, right?
Oh yeah. We're yeah. We did get her them arthritis pills. And it is helping an awful lot. She's moving around the house more now.
Oh, that's good.
Jason
And-
kinda looks in there.
It's one of those things where Bill, actually, you know what? He'll take $40 out for this one. And it's always palm to the old man and a handshake. Well, I know times are tough and insurance companies are kind of getting on your back, so.
There's admittedly, like, the old fellow does open the door and does that slow little shuffle step back to kind of hold it open for you. He seems, I mean, earnestly, a good guy. Got the smile lines and whatnot. Oh yeah, they really are something. But if those pictures come out, if you could, I'm sure my wife would love to see them. I know you can send pictures on these fancy new phones, and God help you, he has it's an outdated smartphone, but he does start to pull it out of his pocket, like, I know exactly how to use. Oh God.
You know what? I definitely will. So yeah, it's a digital camera, so it'll take me a little minute to transfer everything over, but I will send you those.
Oh, she'd be delighted with them. I told her about you. She, next week if you come around again, she said there's what was it? Was it Mercury or Mars or something? Supposed to be able to see it up there by the moon, and she said she'd have me bring you some cookies. You've been the right hoe.
Oh, I always have to look it up myself, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, the handshake completes. He does give you a big warm smile and, lets the two of you in and, just throws the deadbolt behind. Just give a knock again when you're ready to go so I can lock up. I'll be right over here.
Absolutely.
And they just agonizingly slow putter.
And Bill quickly leads Jason up to the roof. He knows the way by now. Okay, one, we actually will take pictures of Orion's belt. I looked that shit up today. It's going to be over us because I like him. And
Seems like a good guy.
he is a good guy. And his wife really does have arthritis. And honestly, this has been a wonderful hobby. And he gets out onto the roof. Our guy isn't due for at least another hour. So what I am going to do is I'm actually going to set this telescope up and we're going to take some fun pictures. See,
Yeah,
check it
cool.
out right up there. And to explain to you why I was, nearly screaming in agonizing pain. My connection to Crow makes my smell, hearing, sight pretty much supernatural. So you can imagine what a sound like that would do to me.
Oh man.
It is fucking agonizing. But I can hear shit that nobody else can hear and see shit nobody else can see. So it's a pretty even trade.
Yeah, I mean, I could barely hear that shit as it was.
Well, the spirits are strange, but they can be kind sometimes. And to Bill's credit, he really does set it up. He was so... It looks like he's actually put in the work to like play the role of stargazing individual. Did some research, put in the man hours. And the fun thing about the way that these telescopes work, like, one, they're super expensive. You can just see the expensiveness. And two, thanks to science, Bill can merely align the camera with the telescope to get the pictures he wants. Some
That's
pretty
a pretty
sweet
fancy
shit.
getup you got there.
Fuck yeah. Expenses. And I get to keep the telescope.
That's pretty fucking cool. You can see the wheels starting to turn for, Jason coming up with shit that he could just call expenses. Man, my truck could use some new tires. Can we expenses that?
No. Like, you have to look at it this way. Eventually, there will be a point where people say enough is enough, get mad, and start like calling people and trying to sue and shit. I need to be in a position where I can prove more or less that it was necessary for the job at hand.
All right.
I can bend the rules. I can't break them.
I have to find me a new set of snow tires somewhere.
Dude, why don't you, Ambrose would know how to get a good deal on those. Guy lives in the trailer out back of the mansion.
I don't know if I'm out of character. I don't know if Jason's met him or not.
He might not have.
Yeah, I saw that trailer out there. I didn't know anybody was in there.
That's Becca's dad. He's a good guy. Knows the old ways. But on top of that, he is a professional mechanic, so I wouldn't expect him to pay for them for you, but he definitely knows where to look to get a good deal.
Well, I'll check with him. I don't have any money for that kind of thing right now anyway, but I also don't drive the truck very much, so I guess it's not hugely important.
I tell you what, it is important because we need your vehicle in tip-top shape. Proceeds of this job, snow tires.
Nice.
Told you, this is how I get all the other expensive shit we need.
All right, man. So how's this scope work?
All right, so lucky for you, I brought you a pair of binoculars.
He takes the binoculars and
We're not using a fucking stargazing telescope. You wouldn't be able to see anything other than like two ladybugs fucking anyway.
he holds them up to his eyes, and he takes kind of this stance where you think that he thinks he's General fucking Patton, looking out over the battlefield with these binoculars.
Dude, your arms are gonna give out. Here, get down here with me.
Huh? Oh, all right. He gets down.
Prop yourself up on your elbows, man. So,
Like that?
yeah, like that.
All right.
All right. So, you see the third window from the left?
Yeah, got it.
Pretty soon, we're going to see a lot of things in the third window from the left. So now, We wait. Jason, it's
know-
cold up on this roof.
I mean, you're not wanting to snuggle, are you?
This is why I bring the thermos of coffee.
Oh,
Here, Jason, have this coffee instead of getting physically close to me.
yeah, that's less uncomfortable. Pours himself a cup. So how long you figure we'll be up here?
Knowing this guy, it will be about an hour before he gets in there. On average, it might be 45 minutes. And after that, well, he does not waste a lot of time getting started when he gets in there, in my sad experience. But once he does get started, things go on for a very long time, and they are wild.
Is this guy anybody important, or is he just some asshole cheating on his wife?
Just an asshole cheating on his wife, man.
And I imagine she's gonna have to see all these pictures.
Well, his wife will see enough of them until she's satisfied that I'm not jerking her around. And she'll be sad. And then the rest I will turn over to her divorce lawyer of choice. And I will let them get about their business.
Man, that's sad.
It is, but a lot of these jobs, now that I've got a kind of established relationship with a couple of the firms for like divorce court, get funneled to me by said lawyers. And, like, I know they got Terrence. Yeah, I mean, he's a lawyer, so but otherwise he's an okay guy.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of thing I suppose it happens whether you like it or not. So I guess you do what you got to do. I see this kind of stuff and hear about it and whatever, and I think about my own parents, and they've been together as far as I know, the whole time. So um, I don't know. That's just weird.
Well, the way I see it, some people are meant to be together forever, some people aren't. And frankly, the only thing that I cast any aspersions about is that there are different ways to deal with that. None of them are pretty, but running around cheating on people when they think that they're supposed to be the only one for you and you for them just is not okay. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for these dudes.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And here he is, and here we go. Oh, God. So,
Jason's still manning the binos, or is
oh yeah,
okay?
and you can hear some click, click, click from Bill, kind of in little bursts, like click, 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 click. And I don't think the ST needs to come in here to describe the exact details of what we were about to witness.
I'm fine with just saying it's graphic.
It is graphic. Bill, likely because of Ultra Crow of War hearing, can probably hear some of it, which just makes this so much worse. Does the ST have any input that is not of a graphic nature that cannot be shown on YouTube? Oh, I see. There's something in the chat that's input. Okay. Time for some perception alertness, huh? Well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man. Golly gee willikers, side chat. Unchattable chattables, Batman. Oh. 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 Ugh.
Dude, what's going on?
I'm learning details. Details that do concern me. As he tries to take an even more detailed look down the lens to see if that other party is someone he recognizes.
And Jason's just watching through the binoculars. He's like, man, I feel so dirty right now.
Bill doesn't say anything. He looks like he's actually concentrating pretty hard. Oh no. Oh, please tell me this isn't true.
Dude, what the shit is that guy doing?
I don't know, but dude, I'm not I'm sorry, I'm getting a weird feeling about this. And also consider yourself lucky I can hear everything. Oh no, that can't be fun for anybody. Why would you do that?
Dude, he is having a good time.
She's not. This is just...
Ooh, that's disturbing.
This is my job. This is my job. This is what's paying for your snow tires, Jason. Just know that.
You're a hero. I don't know how you keep doing this.
I worked at a paper company doing paperwork for years. That's
What is he wearing? Oh, sorry, what?
I don't... Yeah, dude, I was a fucking office jockey before this.
Sorry, it took me a second to find her.
Oh my fucking god, I know that woman. Oh. Oh god, I know that woman.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, not like he knows her, right?
Okay. Jason, you remember that job we did in that motel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The woman in there was more or less in charge of the women we encountered, alongside the man that we had such aggressive negotiations with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, that was the woman in there right now is more or less his the person who manages his staff.
Hmm.
And like any manager, sometimes she rolls up her sleeves and does the job of her employees, which
Takes
is
it for
what I
the
assume is
team.
going on right now.
Yeah. Is she?
Yup.
I mean, we're
She,
cool with her in there, right? Like
yeah,
we don't.
we're cool with them, and frankly, like, look, this will not even necessarily lose her a client. Guys who are depressed and fall back on their vices. So I'm not worried about that. This also won't really prove that she is up to what we both know she's up to. So she will not get in any special trouble. And as a favor, I may choose to only involve those pictures that don't directly show her face. Just as a nice guy move, considering that she works for us in a way.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. We don't want her getting busted.
Nope. So I'm going to be a cool guy and only do things that will damn Mr. Smith here. Settle in. He's usually at this for a while.
Side chat, no! Side chat, por qué? Por qué side chat? Ay, Dios mío. Okay. So eventually things come to their conclusion.
Oh, bro, I think I just threw up in my mouth.
I've been throwing my mouth this whole time. Get on my level.
Oh. Well, I mean, you hear it. I don't need to hear them high-fiving in there.
Well, given the nature of what was going on, it was less a high five and more just a clap, a self high five, if you will.
Ah.
What was the old joke? High five to myself, no friends.
I thought I saw something on The Simpsons where they were talking about the sound of one hand clapping.
Oh man, I remember when I used to watch The Simpsons. Shit, this Bill's packing up.
So that's it? We're
Well,
not gonna...
I'm gonna send specifically the star pictures to Jerry. But yes, I will show you some of the paperwork side of what goes on because we're going back to the house. No, we're not. I mean, how did you think this was going to go, man?
I mean, I kind of thought there'd be like a helicopter to hang out the side of.
Okay, so out of curiosity, what private detective movies have you watched where the PI in question hangs off a helicopter?
I mean, my dad used to watch Magnum PI a lot when I was little. And they had that helicopter.
Magnum PI. I will put it this way, Jason. Magnum PI is worse advice for being a PI than Roadhouse is for being a bouncer. Because at least at one point in Roadhouse, he gives really good advice on being a bouncer. Yeah, no, it's fucked up, right? That whole movie, over the top, Patrick Swayze bullshit. But that one scene where he gives that speech about how they're supposed to be doing their jobs is pretty much how you're supposed to do your job as a bouncer. Pretty much.
Well, I learned a lot tonight about private investigating.
Yep. And now we must go because, frankly, Jerry's been kind enough and he should be finishing up around now anyway.
drinks the rest of his coffee that's probably gone cold by now. Looks
And
around to make sure that he's not leaving any trash or anything up there.
yeah, even you notice even Bill didn't smoke up here. He didn't want to fucking leave those either. Bill's forgotten to smoke this entire time. And he lets Jerry know they're headed out, and it's a pretty quick exchange. And once they're in the car, Bill does crack the window and start smoking. All right, back to the house.
You have
Where I
to see
will
that
show
shit all
you.
the time, man.
I take the jobs at a relatively steady clip, but I see that and things like it a fair amount, yeah.
Oh man, I don't know how to get that
I,
shit out of
I
my
take
head.
these jobs just because, like, if I didn't take these jobs, I'd have to take ones where I was, like, trying to prove that people were faking disabilities and shit like that.
Doesn't seem like it pays as well.
It doesn't, and there's just something about it that makes me feel pretty dirty. And also, it's a lot more labor intensive because you got to follow that person like fucking everywhere. Except when you don't. But like I said, they don't pay as well. I don't like doing them, so we don't. And it's a fair drive. He eventually, when he's done smoking, like rolls the window back up. You're able to get warm inside of the vehicle. And back to the house they go. So, regardless, he did warn her that he'd be coming back later. So, he just lets himself in. He does lock the door behind them. There's no telling if she's awake at this hour.
Oh, but there is. She is exactly where you left her. She's got the big old I've been binging this series the entire time you've been gone eyeballs. Doesn't even like really do more than idly wave as you walk in from under the throw blanket she's wrapped herself up in. Like just kind of flaps a corner of it at you.
Yes, Nicole, it was horrific, but we braved it somehow.
Well, you didn't die. You hear the click as she like pauses the show. So, good job.
Yeah, he's a big old cheater face.
Surprise.
It was yucky.
It actually cracks up. Are you serious? That's your input?
It was very yucky.
It was. I can tell you're a college boy. Jesus. This is great.
He
Oh,
looks confused.
God.
He didn't know what she's laughing at.
All right.
Where did you find him? Like, he just kind of points, grinning over at Bill. Like, where did you find him?
I am a master of finding apprentices. After all, I found you, a true diamond in the rough of this industry.
You know, yep, good job.
As he sits behind the computer. All right, Jason, so come here.
Yeah, have fun with that. He just waves as they like head over towards the desk. She does not seem at all inclined to come over and see what treasure they have recovered.
So he shoves the memory stick in. And the pictures do come up in a folder. So these pictures of the stars we're going to put in a separate folder right now so I don't accidentally send Jerry somebody else's Jerry's.
Ah. Yeah, he don't need to see that. He's too nice for that.
He's too nice for that. All right, so this is in the Jerry folder. I'll be sending those to him short. In fact, I'll just send them to him right now. Fuck it. And he'll send Jerry the star pictures.
Oh my god, I forgot what Jason's rage was. Jesus.
I don't even know what Jason's rage is.
It's 6.
Perm?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're never bringing you on one of these jobs ever again. Uh,
I'm not going to make him roll. I was just checking because I mean Nicole is a kinfolk and she's chill, but eventually people start getting nervous. So she'll be exposed to him for more than 2 minutes this time. I had to look.
all right, so
I thought kinfolk were like completely immune to it. Are they not?
They for the most part are like they aren't affected by things like the delirium and blah. They're pretty much immune. It's just that with enough rage, you can still make people nervous. Like kinfolk get a huge bonus essentially, but
I believe I can break this down.
please.
So, kinfolk aren't affected by the curse and the idea that they don't have a preternatural fear of you, but there still is the fact that there is 6 rage inside of you, and they will take notice. They aren't going to start shaking or freaking out or trying to run out of the room necessarily, but they will notice you are one angry mother trucker.
Mhm.
Okay.
That is why at willpower 10, if you look in the werewolf rulebook, one of the descriptors of willpower 10 is even kinfolk aren't this stoic. So they still take notice when a big ragezilla is in the room.
Essentially, she's not gonna freak the fuck out just because you're there. But I mean, she'll just notice that you are one of those guys that, if
But maybe
she's
she'll
around
think
you for
twice
more than a
about
couple
poking
minutes.
fun at the dum dum.
Yeah. She might think twice about cracking the jokes unless she's really convinced you're not gonna get it. She will reconsider her decisions.
All right, so now we are going to go through the subtle art of having to relive all of these pictures so that we don't involve the ones I said we're not going to involve. Though I will keep those. I will keep those until I am convinced I don't need them. So we will now move all the ones we want into yet another folder. See this? It's a nice folder, all tidily put away under its proper place. And we're just going to
Man, you
leave
got a lot of
these.
folders on there.
Fuck yeah, I do. Got to keep records. You don't even want to know what my paperwork folder looks like. It's fucking Byzantine, bruh. Byzantine.
What does that mean?
Way too fucking complicated.
Can confirm.
All right. So now that we have the ones we do want, I have to prepare for them. One of the more expensive parts of this job. See that nice big printer over there?
Yep.
Prints photos in glossy. That paper is expensive. And it clicks and it starts printing them all. Once they're all printed out, he puts them in an envelope, labels it, Mrs. Smith, and the date, seals it just with like that little metal clip that's on those. Now, the most important part, Jason. I have to arrange to meet this woman at her first convenience, which could either be really immediate or not really immediate. But I'm going to send the email now. And you watch Bill compose the blandest fucking email and send it. And then look at Jason and say, and now we wait the customary 20 minutes in case she just needs to see this right now.
What was you didn't really indicate in the email the kind of nastiness we came across. I mean, maybe she won't be super excited to come out this time of night.
You'd be surprised. People who are expecting the worst either want to put it off or get a jump on it. One of the two.
And after your customary wait, it turns out that she either didn't expect to hear from you or she just doesn't check her email very regularly. You are safe.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
In her defense, it is the middle of the night.
Well, I don't think Jeff's is open, though I could use a stiff drink. Instead, Jason, we must take you home. For my tutelage that you may reflect on to see what skills will help you in the future is complete. And you now know where certain expenses come from.
No, cool, man. This has been good. I have some new things to focus on, and gotta. I don't know that I necessarily need to ever see that business happening again, but if I do, I know what to do with it now.
I mean, you learned other things like the value of planning, patience, how sloppy people are on social media.
Yeah, no, those are, well, based on what it actually turned out to be like, those are all good things too. I was really expecting when you told me you were taking me, I don't know what I thought. I had like a vision of the A Team and Magnum PI and all those shows my dad used to watch. This was completely different, but I see the value in it.
Fortunately, brother, there are far less exciting car chases and gunfights in real life.
Well, I suppose that's good too. If we were tearing up the streets out there, car chasing and gunfighting, who knows what would happen. And
We
Miss Smith
wouldn't
would
be
end up
out
with a corpse instead of a lawsuit.
paycheck. Same difference. Also, we
True.
wouldn't be at this business very long, and Nicole would have quit ages ago.
Yep.
All right, Nicole, it's all set. Let me know if she emails us back and the whole when of her meeting us. It'll still be at the Denny's. I don't want to show up in this person's house.
You sure you wanted to be the Denny's? You know it always gets worse when you show them the pictures than when you take the job.
Yeah, I don't know where else to put him, man. Like,
Just ask Jeff if he'll open up early, or at least let us in early.
yeah, we'll go down the block and see if he's still around to ask him that. Thank you. That was a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff's awesome, and that would mean there are no witnesses to that woman having a super theatrical meltdown. So,
All right, Jason, you're gonna meet Jeff.
All right, cool. Yeah, I could use a drink. Maybe you should
All
set it
right.
up with this guy to normally do that. I mean, it seems like Denny's probably ain't the place to be showing this filth around.
man, it's a shame no one ever suggested that before. Okay, I didn't suggest Jeff last time. I just said Denny's was a terrible fucking idea.
Look, I like to have burgers with my sadness.
Oh, pick one up on the way, or make really baggy eyes, Jeff, if you want a burger before open. Jesus.
I would have to do things.
Yep. Sexual favors, oh, most certainly. There's just Sage nodding from like the bundle of throw blanket on the couch.
Well, if it were to be any man, it would be with Jeff. He's a classy gentleman.
He really is. You could do way worse than Jeff.
I could be way worse than Jeff.
All right. Well, you guys have fun. I'm gonna keep watching these guys murder and fuck people. And there's an idle wave. She's watching
You just-
Spartacus.
Yeah, he just turns around to see what the show even is.
It's Spartacus.
Spartacus, murder and fucking.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, at least it's not murder fucking.
Well, no.
That'd just be sad. And
Or really expensive porn. She like just cranks the volume.
yeah,
Shrug.
That's the note that Jason
Jason walks
leave.
outside.
Nicole has a way about her.
And that, Jason, is the value of a good assistant.
She seems to do her job very well.
Anton has Becca. I have Nicole.
Well, she seems like she keeps stuff in order.
She's a good lady. All right. Jess is within walking distance.
All right.
He literally leads you not far away to a bar that in a neon sign does say Jeff's.
So this is it.
And wonder of wonders, we got in before closing. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for your early evening promptness, you sick fuck.
Like so. Jeff's.
You walk
Jason
into
just kinda
Jeff's,
steps in and yeah.
and it's a lot like being catapulted back in time. From the burnt orange seats, just to the way the countertop looks, to the carpeting, to the paneling on the walls, to Jeff himself. And Bill walks in with such a familiarity, waves to the man behind the bar.
Oh yeah, and Jeff obviously recognizes Bill, looks up, gives the nod, the I know you nod, and he actually starts to look down again before he realizes, wait a minute, kind of glances up again, and kind of glances to Jason, tips the head a little bit, but shrugs.
Jason gives him the chin up nod.
All right, boys, find yourself a seat.
Bill just sits at the bar.
Jason
what it's worth.
Settles up next.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say settles up next to the Bill at the bar.
And I mean, for what it's worth, for Jason's sake, Bill must be a regular because as he's coming in and sitting down, Jeff turns around, grabs a bottle without even needing to really look, grabs a glass, and pours Bill a drink, sets it on the counter as soon as he chooses where he's sitting, essentially. Just dunk, napkin, drink.
Thank you. It has been a long night.
And he kind of, I'll put it this way, he kind of glances between the two of you. And finally, it's not, I'll give you this, Jason. It's not something that feels like it's done to be rude. There's just, maybe the two have known each other a really fucking long time because, you know, Jeff does glance at you, glances at Bill. And it's Bill he asks when he says, should I even bother asking if he's old enough to drink? Better question, should I care if he's old enough to drink?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so. What you having, kid?
Jack and Coke. Easy on the Coke.
He starts to stand up and you do pop a grin on him with the easy on the Coke bit. And he nods, does a little, tap the side of the nose and point like, I got you. Picking up what you're putting down, kid. Gotcha.
Yeah, tonight was The thrilling conclusion to the Mr. Smith saga.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
was it thrilling?
Every audible moment.
You can hear him? He like glanced over like, oh.
Yeah, it was like that.
You know, I feel like subtlety is a lost art some days. As he sets the glass in front of Jason, and Jason, you get to watch as he like pours the rum in, opens a can of Coke, does a little like, here's a little bit for color, and then sets the glass and the Coke can, just in case you wanna fiddle the portion some. But it's the like, here you go. Technically a rum and Coke now, and sets it in front of you, but does leave the can.
Jason gives him picks up his glass and gives him the cheers motion. Says, yeah, I'm gonna have to find a way to bleach my eyeballs after that.
No, I kid if it was that easy to forget. Cracks a grin.
Nicole did bring up a good point, though.
Mhm.
Well, I told you about how well things went on the reveal with the last job because I keep picking that Denny's.
Yeah, that does sound like just a whole bundle of fun.
Yeah, it made the fact that I ordered dessert really awkward. But
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Jeff actually kind of cracks. Really?
yeah, I really wanted that apple cobbler.
Did she stay and just
She
watch you eat
did.
apple cobbler? Oh my fuck,
She did.
Bill!
She stayed the whole time. I don't know why.
Oh, Bill, buddy.
She got tears in my cobbler.
Bro.
It was the worst. I don't know how she leaned that far across the table. It made no sense.
You know what? That serves you right for ordering dessert when there's a lady crying. There's no helping you some days.
She brought up the point that Denny's was no longer a professional place to arrange these meetings.
You thought Denny's was, he like has turned away to like grab something and pauses to respect. Was Denny's ever a professional place to do?
I mean, it's
Anything,
been conspicuous, and I was hungry.
Bill.
Yeah, I know. Ever since the second job I ever did, I learned not to meet these people when they wanted me to just stop by their homes. That too was awkward.
You could consider running a storefront or some shit. Office.
Yeah, but it's expensive.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can tell you. Definitely not cheap for milk.
No, I don't know the funds for that, but an idea was put forth that I want to float by you.
And how, my dear friend Bill, my dear friend, does this involve me? He actually leans forward. He's got like the elbows on the counter, like, dude, sing me the song of your people is on his face.
It occurs to me that if you were amenable and I floated you a decent portion of the proceedings, a reasonable portion for renting the space, that if when this person wanted to meet, I tipped you off ahead of time and you were to open a little early so that I could do that business here, that would be a little easier on everyone involved.
Oh, you want me to watch women cry?
I mean, you could just be in the back.
Did she tell you she pestered me so hard that I'm actually going to stock eggnog this year?
She did not, and I'm amazed.
Like, honest to God, look at this. Look at he like reaches down into the fridge and like pulls out like the glass like you can't call it like the glass bottle of like creamery eggnog. Like, do you see this shit?
I do see it. You get the glass ball and everything.
Man,
Oh,
this
yeah?
shit is good with chocolate milk.
This look, I tried some of this. They have like some creamsicle shit, man. It is. Oh. It is good. But yeah. No, it's the real deal. Like return the bottle, recycle it, get off your next bottle. It's pretty old school. I can dig it.
Definitely. She did not tell me that, but I am pleased to know.
And that's why I ordered a case. Because as soon as you found out, you were going to drink it all.
Probably, yeah.
Sage nod. He puts it back in the fridge. Like, that's right. You can't have this yet. Ugh. Just.
It's November. November.
Yep.
But yeah, that was the idea. I thought I'd at least float by.
How much warning you gonna give me?
Earliest I can.
Well, let me counterfloat that I know you got your main job and your side job. And of course I got my main job. That's the counter. And I got my side job. So there may be times I'm not free to come unlock early.
There may very well be.
But barring unforeseen circumstances. Don't see why not.
That is reasonable, and I will pony up on the proceeds.
Oh, you're damn right. Actually, I was checking to see what gifts people had so I could do amusing things. But he didn't have that one yet. He's so happy. So, kid, work your side job too? Or just your main job? Day job? Got egg?
Side job. But he's fresh. Real fresh.
And I mean, for all the world, Jason, like the whole surface demeanor, everything, Jeff seems like just a really like could be your cool uncle kind of guy. And when he does glance back over and kind of like nod, like, oh yeah, I could see it. It's. I mean, seriously, this guy could just straight be your cool uncle. He's just this cheery kind of guy. He's got the smile lines. He's got just that good vibe going.
Jason kind of, as Jeff's looking at Jason looks over at Bill and kind of gives Bill that, is this guy cool kind of a look. You know, like,
What's happening?
yeah,
Face.
like, he's remembering his experience at the other bar and how everybody was pissing themselves when he went in there, and he's thinking, why isn't this guy pissing himself?
Oh, dude, this guy is cool as a cucumber.
Bill finishes his drink. I gotta get this one back in bed before dawn.
Oh, don't let him turn into a pumpkin.
I would have a lot of explaining to do if he did.
Oh, I bet. Well,
All right.
good talking.
Oh, yeah. See you later, man.
Yep. Catch you next time. Just come on around whenever. You know my door's always open for you.
Oh, yeah. And after some walking, Jason, you and Bill are in the car.
Is Jeff a kin as well?
No.
What is he? He wasn't pissing himself like everybody at the other bar I went to.
Got onto that, huh?
Well, not at first.
what I'm about to say to you, I would appreciate it if you didn't repeat it to Anton. If he presses you, I understand. But I would appreciate that meeting not just getting thrown out there. Okay?
You got it.
Jeff, we are not the only types of beings that can shapeshift. We are not the only types of beings that serve Gaia. Jeff is a werebear.
That's a thing?
That's a thing. That being said, there is a lot of bad blood between other shape-shifting creatures and werewolves. We did a lot of very, very nasty shit to other shape changers, and they do not tend to trust us as a result.
Well, I mean, I never did any of that shit to any other shape changers.
You didn't,
Did you?
but the history is still there. No.
Yeah.
No, people a long time ago did. History is still there. Honestly, I feel like if the nation came across Jeff, they'd do some nasty shit to him too.
Well, that's bullshit, because he seems pretty cool.
It is bullshit, and he is pretty cool. Jeff is part of the reason that when all of this started up and we were first running around, we were running around in a complete wormish shit show. Jeff's been holding down this area for as long as I can remember, and probably as long as a lot of other Gru can remember.
By himself?
As far as I know. If there are other werebears or were things, he hasn't shared it with me. I don't blame him. Now, on the other side of this, Anton knows about Jeff. Anton knows about my relationship to Jeff. Anton does not trust Jeff and does not like the idea of me introducing other members of our group to Jeff. But I let you meet him. I could have just left you at the house with Nicole. Why do you think I did that?
Because he's a cool dude.
As a Philodox, you have to learn how to judge things. Situations, people, relationships. Part of the reason why Anton, even if he doesn't like it, allows me to continue talking to Jeff, meeting with him, checking in with him, associating with him, is because Anton understands that that's the duty of a Philodox. Anton likely wants me to be the only one doing it because I have past history with him. But let's say I die tomorrow. Say I get my fucking head torn off. You'd be the only Philodox, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even know about Jeff, would you? If I
No
hadn't told
idea.
you, shown you. If I die, these continued relations, learning things, looking out for other Gaian creatures, maintaining a relationship with other Gaian creatures, it would just fall on your shoulders. So this is shit that I feel you need to know.
Yeah, that's
And things
valid.
you need to be ready to shoulder if I'm gone.
Are there other wear stuff around?
As far as I know, there's other types of wear things, yes, but I haven't encountered any in these parts.
How did you find out that he was a werebear?
Well, a group of Banes crawled into the neighborhood, and me and you've seen Jane, right?
Yeah.
Well, me and Jane kenned on to it. We figured out that those Banes were around, and this is when we were at Jeff's. We decided we were going to go in the Umbra, and we were going to fucking take care of business, because they were starting to do stuff that was affecting the Tellurian. So we thought, there's two of us. We can take this. There were a lot of Banes. But the person fighting them was us, but not us. Giant, strong. But a bear. We fought off those fucking Banes together. We round on each other. And suddenly that bear is Jeff. And that's how I found out he's a werebear. Grawl.
Well, that's something. It's cool to
Like
know
I
that
said,
there's
if-
more out there.
Yeah, but like I said, like not all of them have Jeff's attitude. And even Jeff's pretty cagey for a reason. He's had some rough scrapes with when werewolves were up in these parts. Like I said, the nation's pretty brutal and it's got its fair share of assholes who like to carry on that sad tradition.
Well, if they're going to be a bunch of dicks, I don't know if I want to have anything to do with them.
Yeah, I hear you. I do. Anyway, like I said, if for whatever reason Antons are really pressed on your throat, I'll take the hit. But do us both a favor and just try, unless like it has to come up, to keep this whole thing between us.
Well, I won't bring it up.
Thanks. Let's see if we can get back before fucking sunrise.
Yeah, I think that the energy drink's wearing off.
And I think now is as good time as any to call it.